MONBASA MVITA, 5-star economy. There are hotels of different classes. There are normal hotels, regular ones. There are also cities of different calibers, and there are countries of different calibers. I remember one time in a town next to the town I used to live in. I used to live in Nakuru. I had some German friends, and one time they asked me to accompany them as they were going to some place in a neighboring town called Naivasha. We went to a place called, a hotel called Yellow Green, a very nice hotel. Yellow Green because the acacia that grows around Naivasha area are greenish and yellowish in color, a unique kind of acacia. From there we went to the colleges, and then we went to a place called Crater Lake Sanctuary. It was a nice place, an average tourist hotel. I'm talking about this because I want to compare different things that happen to us in different places. There are places where people grow plenty of food crops or give a lot of services and they charge moderately. There are places where a small service costs a lot, so it's valued by the class. I've even had that thing on barbers. You go to a barber who will shave you at 1/3 the cost of another barber, just because his is considered to be of a high class. So you considered more important because you just had the same cut, but you did it in a place that appears higher than the other one. It has been so with the economies of the world. There are some countries which value the currency than the comfort of the citizen. When we were talking with these friends of mine, they told me of some countries where sometimes farmers overproduce and their governments feel that the price of the goods will be low. So their government buys the food and dumps the food into the ocean so that they can keep a stable price. They are afraid of the price falling so that people can get the things they need comfortably. They would rather dump, have a shortage to maintain a certain currency. We've been having that where foreign currencies are bought in different markets. Is it a stock exchange, NASDAQ, things like that? Money is traded, and the higher the value, the more valued it is. But what happens in real circumstances? There are some countries that may be having a lower currency, but they are able to produce at that lower currency. If they can coexist at that lower currency, they can be able to produce an economy that is affordable to most of their people. They don't need to throw away food, that there has been an overproduction, so you have to throw away food. Instead, when there is an overproduction, then reduce the price to that overproduction and then keep that supply of food at that level. Then next time, there won't be an overproduction because that is the norm. And your economy survives at that rate. Everybody is comfortable. But we have had that economy, show-off economy, show-off prices. And it has hurt many of the countries. There are countries around the world that will tell you the economy is very high, but you also find the amount of sufferings are very high, because you get an amount of money that would have done much. If some of the things were left, it can do little. So I've been thinking about this thing of a world control of certain currencies being the dominant, the main trade currencies, whereas other countries have also got currencies. What if each country would buy from another country in its own currency, and we get used to that? There wouldn't be that thing of trading off currencies to see which currency is stronger. But on the African front, if we could intertrade, it can be of great benefit. We can be able to produce at any time, adjust our prices at that rate, and be able to enjoy the benefits of a bounty harvest at a lower price. And then, what does it mean? Everything will cost low. That is the dream that many of the African leaders have. That is the dream that many of the African citizens have. That is the dream that our present president started us with, and we are praying that he achieved it. He named it bottom up. Start with those at the lower and end up to those at the top. I know it's not too late. Much can be achieved. We are hoping so. But this is the economy that would hit that target. A lot of production, a lower price that can be kept stable, and we trade at that much. And I know many African countries, especially East African countries, from the wisdom of those who have been, those who are in charge of these countries. Sometimes when you listen to their speeches, you see they are going in that direction, a direction of saving their people so that they don't suffer from economic changes, fluctuations in the currency level. The best idea is when they buy from one another in their own currencies. Things will be cheap, things will be manageable. And I pray that God gets us there. I was talking of that class economy, top class economy. You go and buy a slice of bread for the amount of 2 loaves of bread because it is high, whereas in another place you will have bought 2 loaves that you cannot be able to finish. So I prefer the situation where we are real. Buy your loaf and eat it, instead of feeling high, spending 4 times on a loaf of bread and not getting satisfied. That should be the outlook on the economic side for the benefit of the common citizen. The countries say that our currency is now strong, but sometimes it is strong at the expense of the very citizens. That is my take for now.